Hi, College and Career Success. Welcome to week 8. We did it. We are here. The course is almost over. So a quick couple things before we hop into week 8. You've had the opportunity already to work on weeks 1 and 2. They were open in weeks 6 and 7. Now you're going to get the chance to make up anything from week 3. Week 3 will be reopened during Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of week 8. So if you have anything from week 3 you want to try to make up, please feel free to take advantage of that. All right, so week 8, depending on when you're watching this video, it did open early. It opened on Friday the 19th. That was because if you would like to have enough time, the course ends on Friday, July 26th. So in order to have enough time to grade and get all grades wrapped up, our course does end on a Friday night. So I've tried to make that obvious in my messages, in my emails, in my syllabus, in the videos. So hopefully everyone is hearing this, seeing this, reading the information so that you know that week 8 and the course completely is done on a Friday. So if you have not already, I encourage you to take a look at week 8 videos. It goes over chapter 11 and chapter 12. This video is just going to focus on the chapter 11 assignments. So you can see week 8 is a typical week that most of our weeks have been. You have 2 chapters. You have your kind of self-reflection surveys for each chapter. You have 2 discussion boards again, so make sure you respond to both of them by Wednesday for week 8 attendance. So the attendance is still the same, but you just have to respond to 2 classmates by Friday. And then you'll see you'll have an assignment and a quiz for each chapter as well. So let's go ahead and jump into the assignment folder. There's that skills survey. Here's the chapter 11 discussion prompt. Chapter 11 talks about like healthy habits in many ways, physically, mentally, emotionally, and so on. So the prompt is, are your eating and sleeping habits currently affecting your ability to have a super successful college experience? So, kind of think about, how do you go about your day? Do you get enough sleep? Do you eat the proper amount of nutrition? Are you eating consistently? Are you sleeping consistently? Kind of think about those habits. Describe the health and wellness changes a commitment to eating clean and sleeping well will bring about and how you will benefit in the short and long term. So first, kind of describe your eating and sleeping habits, I guess. You don't have to get too detailed, but in general, how much sleep do you get each night? What kind of meals do you eat? Do you skip meals? Or if you feel like you have a pretty good routine, you can talk about that as well. And what changes could you make? And how would those changes impact you in the short and long term? So that's your prompt for chapter 11. Going along kind of on that same theme, chapter 11 assignment is called Make a Habit, Break a Habit. So you're going to open that up. It's going to be a Word doc. Here it is. You're going to think of, and it says weeks 1, 2, 3, 4. Now this is kind of like a hypothetical, what are you going to do? Because obviously I'm not going to follow up with you because we're done after this week. So I want you to try to come up with 4 healthy habits you want to make and 4 unhealthy habits you want to break. Now they can totally align with one another. Let's say you want to drink more water as one habit, and then you want to drink less pop as an unhealthy habit. So they can totally align like that, or they might not have anything to do with each other, and that's totally fine as well. And so think again, as this can relate to anything, physical, emotional, mental, any kind of habits that you might have. It could be as simple as like, ooh, you bite your nails too much, you want to break that habit, or you eat too much junk food or too much fast food, you don't get enough sleep. So you can kind of think about those things. You procrastinate, and then healthy habits that you want to try to make over the course of, a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks. Do you want to get more exercise in? Do you want to eat more healthy? Do you want to study more? And then you're going to answer these questions. What reminders will you use to make or break these habits? Are you going to have an accountability partner who might remind you? Are you going to have Post-it notes, reminders in your phone? What if you forget about your habit? What's your backup if you forget to make or break? Let's say the habit you want to make is exercising every day for 30 minutes. What if you forget about it? What's your backup plan, or how will you approach that? Question 3, if you were able to make or break the habits you've listed for good, how would that make you feel? How would your life be different? How would you feel if you're not able to make these habits or break the habits for good? What obstacles might prevent you from making or breaking these habits? Is there anything that might get in the way? Your daily lifestyle, your memory, your work schedule, anything along those lines. Okay, so when you're done with that, make sure you save that, and then you will upload that into the Dropbox. And then you have your chapter 11 quiz. So again, I just want to remind you, Make sure you're putting all of your answers in your own words, 2 to 5 complete sentences. Let's walk through the questions. You've been asked to create an informational flyer about the importance of sleep. What should you include? So chapter 11 does talk about healthy sleeping patterns and habits. So what kind of things would you include in an informational flyer? Question 2 focuses on stress relief. Do you have a stress relief routine? What has worked for you in the past? What's working for you now? Is there anything in the chapter that you would like to start incorporating that you think might be beneficial for you? Question 3, this is a little bit of textbook and personal. Which mental health disorder do you think is the most common among college students? And how do you support that from the textbook and personal experience? So make sure you look in the book and where it talks about mental health disorders. And that could be anywhere from, anxiety, stress, addiction. So it could cover a lot of different things. Question 4, what are the 3 types of exercise mentioned in this chapter and what are the benefits to each type? I do talk about these in the lecture video for chapter 11, but there are 3 very specific types of exercise mentioned. So you want to talk about each of those and just give like a little overview of what are the benefits. And then question 5, how can you recognize when someone is using drugs or alcohol? And then what can you do if you think it's becoming problematic? And then as always, make sure you save and submit that in the Dropbox as well. All right, so those are your chapter 11 assignments. I will be back with chapter 12.